So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is .08, and Ollie was .1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life.
Oklahoma State football coach Mike Gundy is under fire for these comments he made in regards to a player of his, Ollie Gordon, after the star running back's arrest for a DUI.
And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money. Understand the severity of the situation and know this. Is suspending him for 1 game really going to matter? Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
There were 2 comments that really caught the attention of many. First things first, Mike Gundy, head coach of Oklahoma State, would try clarifying on Twitter. My intended point today at Big 12 Media Days was that we are all guilty of making bad decisions. It was not a reference to something specific. All right, let's go back to the first part. Before we reserve our judgments via Pro Football Talk and explaining his decision not to suspend, star running back Ollie Gordon II, who was arrested for driving with a BAC of .11, Gundy reasoned that he's done the same thing literally 1,000 times. It's wild to say. Meanwhile, Gundy's estimate regarding the connection between beer's body weight and BAC seems more than a little off. Under the Oklahoma BAC chart, and given that Gordon is listed by the Oklahoma State website as weighing 215 pounds, it would take not 1, 2, 3, or 4 beers to get him to .11, but 6 or 7. There is no doubt Ollie Gordon is a successful player at this level. He won the Doak Walker Award. He rushed for 21 touchdowns. He nearly had 2,000 yards running the football. Additionally, Gordon ranks among the early leaders for the Heisman Trophy and was named preseason Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. Getting that out of the way with his star quality via awful announcing, according to a police affidavit, his car swerved into an adjacent lane twice, and he was pulled over after going 82 in a 65. A state trooper detected alcohol in the car, and Gordon would even go on to admit he had open bottles of vodka and tequila in the car. He would initially refuse a breathalyzer and was arrested on a complaint of DUI, transport of an open container of alcohol, failure to maintain single-lane traffic, and speeding. Once he arrived at Cleveland County Jail, Gordon registered a BAC of .11 and .10. Dan Wolken of USA Today would provide some perspective. He's a very good writer, by the way, stamp of approval. There's simply no way to justify talking about drunk driving in any context that gives room for excuses. And Gundy failed to clear that very easy bar. But that's barely a surprise coming from this coach. And here's what he means. Gundy was spotted wearing an OAN shirt. OAN, if you're unaware, you should be at this point, is a pro-Trump channel that peddles in conspiracy theories, racism, and xenophobia on the regular. Chuba Hubbard, a member of the Carolina Panthers who played collegiately at Oklahoma State University, would tweet as a member of the team, "I will not stand for this. This is completely insensitive to everything going on in society, and it's unacceptable. I will not be doing anything with Oklahoma State until things change." To give one an idea of what OAN is, here's a previous piece I put together in roughly 2020. Take a look.
OAN is the pro-Trump conspiracy-only news channel. Take how they covered Martin Gugino, the man shoved by police in Buffalo. Trump tweeted the unsubstantiated conspiracy pushed by OAN that Gugino may have been an Antifa provocateur. Don't believe me? Check this out.
New reports find a protester pushed by Buffalo police was appearing to use common Antifa tactics. One America's Christian Rose looks into the matter.
A new report finds the latest tensions at the Buffalo Police Department could be a result of a false flag provocation by far-left group Antifa.
Christian Ruse, owned and operated by the Kremlin. No, really. He is a Russian national on the payroll of the Kremlin's official propaganda outlet Sputnik, which played a role in Russia's 2016 election interference operation, according to an assessment by the U.S. intelligence community. Jack Posobiec, you might have heard of his name, an alt-right conspiracy theorist banned from holding an account on Bumble, even though he's married with a pregnant wife at the time, is on the OAN roster. He pushed forged documents on the Nazi website 4chan in an effort to discredit and replace French President Emmanuel Macron with alt-right candidate Marine Le Pen. He originated the Pizzagate conspiracy theory. It's been reported and confirmed Posobiec went to an anti-Trump protest and held up a sign to discredit the dissenters. BuzzFeed's source was a Posobiec confidant with text messages confirmed to show the spearheading by Posobiec to misinform those who oppose Trump. At one point, Posobiec was seen filming a children's birthday party by the owners of a pizza parlor. He passed around flyers, also at another point, comparing net neutrality to satanic porn. Rion's greatest hits, arguing major left-wing media have teamed up with the Chinese Communist Party. She claimed COVID came from a biosafety level 3 lab in North Carolina and that it was then smuggled into China by lab workers and released. She personally traveled with Rudy Giuliani to Ukraine to push more conspiracy theories. OAN had to retract her conspiracy theory that former FBI Director Andrew McCabe and former FBI lawyer Lisa Page had an affair. She claims to be an author, but an investigation found simply she's not, because they don't exist.
By the way, sorry for the quality. That was the only camera I had at the time. After the backlash from Gundy wearing the tee, this is what transpired between head coach and star running back.
In light of today's tweet with the t-shirt I was wearing, I've met with some players and realized it's a very sensitive issue with what's going on in today's society. And so we had a great meeting and made aware of some things that players feel like that can make our organization, our culture even better than it is here at Oklahoma State. And I'm looking forward to making some changes, and it starts at the top with me, and we got good days ahead.
I'll start off by first saying that I went about it the wrong way by tweeting. I'm not someone that, has to, tweet something to make change. I should have went to him as a man, and I'm more about action. So that was bad on my part. But from now on, we're going to focus on bringing change, and that's the most important thing.
It felt forced, but, it was what it was, per se. Wolken would then go on to recap the events that took place. For a couple days, Gundy was in real trouble as players boycotted team activities for a short period of time, and some former players spoke up with troubling anecdotes about the racial climate in Oklahoma State's football program. Humbled and apologetic, maybe for the first time ever, Gundy saved his job and he was forced to take a $1 million pay cut. There was, though, another odd comment that stuck out within all of this, and it was Gundy pivoting to athlete pay. He has shown and signaled that he is likely very against name, image, and likeness. He is against athletes making money off of what they do on the football field. To be very clear, it was a odd inclusion into this context because it didn't fit at all. Via Wolken once more, what isn't so clear is Gundy, on multiple occasions, referenced how much money Ollie Gordon makes as a collegiate football player in trying to explain his approach to a disciplinary issue that he was going to address at Big 12 Media Days and then hope it disappears from the discourse by the time the season would begin. But why even raise the idea that players are now making, in some cases, hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars through name, image, and likeness, and their deals in order to play college football? Is Gundy suggesting that because these guys are now de facto pros that he doesn't have any standing to administer discipline when they screw up off the field? Let's just be clear. As we conclude this, this was a dumb thing to say. Do not say this. And this is showing the reaction from media, from fans, from others in the space, that there is an example that needs to be set when you're the head coach. One of the things that Bill Belichick mastered when he was head coach of the New England Patriots was the ability to say something without saying anything. Maybe Gundy should take a page. Or, quite frankly, I appreciate the honesty because much like Jerry Jones and many others, they're going to tell you exactly how they feel, which quite frankly, in this day and age, I would prefer. I would prefer it. You know why? Because then we learn who they truly are and they peel back the curtain under their own volition instead of giving us word salads. There was a way to handle this. This wasn't it. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.